Today the react day. Today's a react day. I'm gonna do some reactions. Alright, we've got videos that I wanna watch. We've got shit up. We don't have a second monitor, we don't have my mic, we don't have my soundboard, we have nothing. This is all we have. We have me, the treadmill, and this laptop. Okay, so we got the first video. The first video is what Batman's in the Invincible verse. I'm not gonna lie. What's my man's name? Blackwing or Darkwing? That's exactly what's gonna happen to him. Like, I think Darkwing is what happened. Is his name, bro? He's not surviving in the Invincible verse. It's not like the DC universe where you got Kryptonite for Superman, you got contingency plans for Flash. But even though the Flash could deal with Batman quite easily, Wonder Woman don't exist. She got emmed off immediately. But like the threats in the Invincible universe are just they're too much. But it's fine. We'll see what they have to say. We'll see what they have to say.
The Invincible universe is brutal. It's a world where strength is law, where heroes bleed, die, and fail frequently. But what happens when a man who could defeat Superman himself shows up? Here's
Kryptonite, but
what would happen if Batman existed in the Invincible universe. Before we insert Batman into the Invincible universe, though, we have to understand what makes him such a unique element in a world filled with superhumans. Batman's defining trait isn't.
there's one thing I always want to say. You know, Batman can't be replicated. And I know he's supposed to be a human, but bro's not a human, bro. I'm telling you, half the shit he does just isn't super. It's just superhuman in his base. Even his protege, Robin, through Cinderblock. I don't know if you guys know who Cinderblock is. Cinderblock is like, I think when I saw it, he was like £1 million, something like that. Robin threw him over his shoulder. No amount of training can. Okay, let's say you could train to that point. How did he condense all that muscle into that skinny ass arm? Like he has super strength, and that's just a fact. That's literally just a fact. Because one, his arms can't. The muscle mass, like the amount of muscle he has, and the amount of muscle like energy he puts out, it don't make sense. They don't correlate. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. So I'm just gonna keep playing the video.
Strength, it's willpower and preparation. It's paranoia. He's not a hero by birthright or power. He's a hero because he refuses not to be. In DC, that defiance makes him a maverick, but in Invincible, it makes him a target. This is a universe where the Guardians of the Globe, basically a version of the Justice League, are wiped out in seconds, where characters like Red Rush and War Woman die not because they're unskilled, but because
You Omni-Man's not doing any of that, Bruce. We need to think. Immediately. But he's probably the first one gone. There's nothing that Bruce could do. He's just gone. Straight in there. That Omni-Man, you're not like dead. Simple as that, man.
raw power beats technique. Batman isn't faster than Red Rush. He isn't stronger than War Woman. He's not more durable.
So I'm ready.
Than the Immortal, but he is smarter. Inserting Batman here is
Okay.
like lighting a match in a room full of gasoline. He doesn't overpower the system, he reprograms it. Let's assume Batman enters the
How do you reprogram Omni-Man snapping your neck in the matter of seconds? Not even seconds, milliseconds. How do you even combat that? Okay, that was kind of SUHO. What am I doing?
Invincible universe as Bruce Wayne, billionaire orphan with full access to his tech, resources, training, and network, but no existing fame.
Kevlar utility harness, gas-powered magnetic grapple gun, the 350-pound test monofilament. This baby works just fine.
Go. No one's any of the Batman movies, by the way.
He's
Sorry,
not
don't
known,
crucify me.
he's not respected, he's just another mask in a world already tired of capes. So he does what Batman always does. He operates in the shadows. He builds infrastructure. He starts small and goes on to investigate disappearances, track powered individuals, and observe Omni-Man, because it wouldn't take him long to realize something's wrong. Batman is defined by his detective skills.
Oh, so he's saying Batman won't be in like the Justice League or like what's the name, the Super League, whatever. He's not gonna be part of them. He's gonna be his own entity that's a detective. Okay, observe him from a distance because he can tell something's off. Okay, but what's that really gonna do for him, though? Like he might snake Cecil, yeah. But if only might even catch the wind of that, because you know the way Cecil is as well, he's probably gonna be like, "Yeah, my good old pal Batman over here just told me everything. Like, we know it's you, Omni-Man." Blah blah blah. Whilst he's talking, Batman's gonna grab No, Omni-Man will grab Batman's neck, snap him from reality. That's actually accurate. They're like, that's actually quite accurate. It's sick.
And in the Invincible universe, that makes him a dangerous anomaly. The GDA may have secrets and Cecil may have surveillance, but Batman has insight. He wouldn't need evidence to know Omni-Man is lying. He'd read it in his body language, in his phrasing, and in his inconsistencies. And he wouldn't confront him. He'd prepare. Now, this would put Cecil and Batman at odds. Cecil Stedman is the Nick Fury of Invincible, but darker. A rationalist willing to burn bridges, lives, and countries if it means Earth survives. And here's where the story gets interesting, because Cecil and Batman are two sides of the same coin. Both men are realists, both use others like chess pieces, both understand the power of secrets. But Batman has one thing Cecil doesn't, a line he won't.
Line he won't cross. I'm actually prediction that I do this, man. I just do this. That you see the way I just predicted that quite easily.
Cross. In the earlier seasons of Invincible, Cecil is content using tools like the Reaniman or Black Samson.
For God's sake, just give me some good news, Sinclair.
We're at least 2 weeks away from even a trial run. You have no idea how dense their muscle tissue is.
He manipulates, kills, and uses everyone to his advantage. If Batman starts investigating Omni-Man, Cecil either tries to recruit him or eliminate him. But Batman, being Batman, would see that coming 5 steps ago. In the original show, Cecil's shadowy ethics are justified by the threats Earth faces. But Batman doesn't accept the ends justify the means. He sees what Cecil is, a man too willing to become the villain to stop villains. What follows isn't a war of fists. It's a
like Amanda Waller. You see that that should be on one of these channels that just connect characters and like make these scenarios, like Amanda Waller, like Batman, Cecil. Like you see the connection. You see what I just did there. But,
Cold War of surveillance and counterintelligence. Cecil wants total surveillance, Batman blocks it. Cecil uses clone soldiers, Batman exposes them. Cecil manipulates Mark, but Batman protects him. He would hack GDA servers, interrogate agents, and he would expose secrets. Eventually, Cecil stops trying to outmaneuver Batman and tries to eliminate him. But that fails too, because for every satellite Cecil builds, Batman builds a jammer. For every infiltration team sent to track Bruce, Batman sends back their uniforms, folded neatly. The tension comes to a head during a near global crisis, perhaps the return of a cosmic level threat like Battle Beast or an asteroid strike engineered by the Viltrumites. Cecil's solution would be to detonate a nuke in orbit and risk civilian lives.
You wouldn't dare.
He would.
But Batman's
Tank
solution
that.
would be a remote-guided EMP drone swarm that disables the threat without casualties. The world would see both plans, and they choose Batman. Cecil doesn't lose power, but he loses trust. From that point forward, he's no longer Earth's protector. He's Earth's administrator. Batman becomes the protector, and ultimately, he proves that Omni-Man is not who he claims to be, which will bring us to a new timeline divergence. In the original series, the Guardians of the Globe are ambushed and murdered by Omni-Man in one of the most shocking scenes in modern animation. With no warning and no mercy, Omni-Man just performs an execution.
I'm not gonna lie. In this state, Batman's still not catching the drop on Omni-Man. They'd have to get like another superhero person to just like finish up the job.
But if Batman exists, that massacre doesn't happen the same way, because Batman knows it's coming. Maybe not the exact date, maybe not the location, but he would have picked up on Omni-Man's charade. His overly cooperative attitude, his disinterest in collaboration, his absence during key crisis. He would have bugged Omni-Man's home, or he would have put drones in orbit, maybe heat sensors in the walls. Batman would have done something, anything, because he doesn't let a god walk around unsupervised. So when the Guardians are called to that fateful meeting,
So what does he do when he realizes that there's no kryptonite for Omni-Man? You're just ruined. Like if he wants you, he's gonna get you, bruh. Like, what do you do then? There's not like Superman. It's not like you have Superman level power, or you can get Superman level power. So I'm pretty sure Batman has like something against giving himself superpowers. So he's not gonna give himself superpowers. He has nothing to combat Omni-Man's power. He's ruined. So what did he do? How did he prepare? Actually, let me see.
Batman is already there, not to fight, but to warn and disrupt Omni-Man's plans. Omni-Man still attacks, but this time it's not a massacre, it's a war. The Guardians, now warned, fight smarter. Red Rush doesn't charge in blind, War Woman doesn't get blindsided, Batman uses tech, traps, sonic weapons, and kinetic dampeners.
See what you tried to do there? Nah. They get absolutely massacred. once again. You see, what Darkwing tried to do, that's exactly what's going to happen to Batman. What Darkwing tried to do, he's going to try to swing, but he's going to think for that dark side, because Batman's gone hand to hand with Darkseid before, don't get me wrong. But that's because of his plot armor. It don't happen like that in the Omniverse universe. I mean, in the Omni-Man universe. If you tried to do that, when's the last time you tried to fight a man without your power? You got that power. You're gonna come up, beef, 360. His neck, 360. It's not gonna happen the same way, bro.
Does everyone survive? Probably not, but Omni-Man bleeds. And even if they don't manage to kill him,
bled in
they
the
will
first one.
successfully capture him. Under Batman's guidance, the GDA will know how to capture a Viltrumite. On the off chance Omni-Man escapes, Earth knows what it's dealing with. And Nolan? He's on the defensive. He is no longer in control. His arc would become something else entirely. In Invincible, Nolan's arc is tragic. After beating his son nearly to death, he breaks down, flying off planet in shame, setting the stage for future redemption.
Okay, that makes sense.
But if Batman is around, that redemption doesn't come easy. Batman doesn't forgive genocidal tyrants. He doesn't give passes for changing your mind. So when Nolan returns later in the series, trying to warn Earth of the Viltrumite threat, Batman is waiting. Not with a punch, but with evidence, testimonies, recordings, everything. He doesn't let Nolan disappear into guilt. He puts him on trial, morally and publicly. And maybe Nolan helps fight the Empire again. Maybe not. But under Batman's rule, he's held accountable. Because unlike Mark, Batman doesn't need a father. He became his own parent from the minute his parents died. Now we come to the main character, Invincible. Because Batman wouldn't let his biggest enemy's family out of sight. Mark Grayson's arc is defined by emotional trauma and sudden power. He's a teenager given the powers of a god with no guidance but a father who turns out to be a monster. In the canon timeline, he's naive. He learns by being broke, physically and emotionally. But what if Batman took an interest? He's naive. He learns by being broke, physically.
This scene, yeah, when I watched it the first time, I just, it's just over. It's so over for him.
And emotionally.
That bro actually didn't move. Okay, this scene in the actual show was so peak for Mark. It was just so peak.
But what if Batman took an interest? Batman wouldn't recruit Mark. He'd watch him, study him, and when Nolan's betrayal becomes public, Batman steps in. Not as a mentor, but as a mirror. He trains Mark, not how to hit harder, but how to think and how to fight smarter.
You're a man who dresses like a bat, and your name is... Well, you know, I mean, like, don't you think that's kind of lazy?
This fundamentally changes Mark's development.
I remember that. I remember when that. Bro, I didn't even see Alan in the background there. But I remember that. I remember that scene saying that has to be Batman. That could only be Batman there.
Instead of learning through constant defeat, Mark starts winning small battles. Instead of running in fist first, he starts using intel. It doesn't make him perfect, but it makes him less broken. Batman becomes his moral compass, his anti-Nolan. And Mark wouldn't be the only...
So, Invincible becomes Robin. Robin with superpowers. It's over. If you see what Batman did with a normal human being, imagine what he's going to do with Invincible. It's straight over. Every single villain on Earth, on the planet Earth, is ruined. They are ruined. I don't think you understand. Do you see what he did to Robin? Robin threw cinder block over his shoulder. No questions asked. No issues. 1 million tons of brick. He threw that over his shoulder, and he's a human. Imagine what Batman would do if he cooked with Invincible. It's so... I can't even imagine. I couldn't be a villain. There'll be a 0% success rate. I mean, crime rate, sorry. And there'll be only be one person committing crime, and that's the Joker. And Joker doesn't exist here, actually. So the only person committing crimes don't exist. Conquest ruined. What's my man's name? Swag ruined. Adam the alien ruined. Adam probably wouldn't have survived that encounter in space. Adam would no longer be with us. Cool. But that's what I'm saying. If you can do that with Robin, what he did with Invincible is straight doomage.
One to be influenced by Batman. He would reshape everyone. Without Batman, the teen team is a dysfunctional bunch of overpowered, undertrained, emotionally reactive teenagers.
Teen Titans.
Features. Great in a pinch, but incapable of handling serious threats. He doesn't just train the teen team, he militarizes them emotionally, ethically, tactically. Adam Eve learns how to weaponize her power at a quantum level, going far beyond basic construction and manipulation. Batman teaches her restraint through control, not suppression. Rexplode, a chaotic wildcard, becomes a loyal operative, reminded constantly of the cost of arrogance. Batman doesn't coddle him, he breaks him and then rebuilds him into someone useful. Duplicate becomes a master of coordinated combat through replication. Imagine a trained Kate forming her own task force with synchronized clones. Monster Girl is taught psychological resilience. Bruce, having faced his own demons for years, becomes a mentor, not by comforting her, but showing her how to weaponize her trauma. He'd expose Robot's secrets early, forcing Rudy to confront his ethics sooner. Under his guidance, they become something new, a hybrid of the Bat Family and the Justice League tempered by the brutality of the world. They don't just save people, they prepare for the worst. Under Batman's influence, heroes don't die meaningless deaths. They adapt and they survive. This new teen team isn't a joke. They're an elite squad, more like the Titans from DC, but hardened for war. They go from immature heroes to a critical resistance cell when the Viltrumites arrive. Batman doesn't teach them hope, he teaches them readiness. Earth wouldn't remain the same either. First, let's start small. The Invincible universe doesn't spend much time on petty crime. Why? Because the stakes are usually cosmic. Space invasions, monster attacks, and genocidal aliens. But if Batman enters this world, even street crime won't go unnoticed. Bruce Wayne doesn't ignore the small-scale stuff. In fact, he thrives in it. Within weeks of arriving, organized crime in major cities, Chicago,
He's a human.
Los Angeles, Seattle, will begin to collapse. Gangs vanish overnight. Arms deals are intercepted and corrupt cops start resigning voluntarily.
I don't know if this is really true though, because these guys acting like Batman's the be or end all. Even with his crew, that we've seen what happens like in DC. We've seen what happens with these things. Crime will end. You're just gonna breed stronger supervillains and more of them. So it's not gonna be like a thing where more crime just all this guy's being far too like how do I say it? Optimistic. He's being too optimistic. That's not gonna happen, bro. I'm sorry, that's just not gonna happen. Like Batman, maybe for a while, crime will drop, but just like when there's a new overwhelming force of like goodness, an overwhelming force of madness is coming. Like, a bit like in the JJK verse, when Gojo came, the curses were oppressed for a long time, and then naturally it became stronger because Gojo was born. It became stronger just because he was born, because he's that strong. It's the same way how in the Marvel universe, the second Superman superheroes showed up, supervillains showed up. It's like tit for tat. There's like a reaction and an equal reaction. So if Batman makes all this stuff happen, maybe pay crime might go down for a minute, but there's gonna be more supervillains, more stuff I would just come up in general. And then on top of the stuff that come back in general, you got like the Viltrumites coming to Earth, which is a looming threat. You have okay, that's literally the only. I'm not really clued up on the show, on the comics, so that's all I really know for now. But I'm guessing there's other stuff that happens in the comics. So
Voluntarily. The Batman effect begins. Fear takes hold, not just among criminals, but in the system. And that matters, because Invincible is a world where the Global Defense Agency often turns a blind eye to morally gray actors like
the GDA, how'd that only just realize that?
Titan or DA Sinclair, as long as the bigger threats are kept at bay. Batman doesn't play that game. If Titan tries to manipulate Mark into helping him rise in the underworld,
He pays off inspectors so he doesn't have to fix shit, then burns them for insurance money if anyone's inside at the time. Too bad.
Batman shuts it down early. He doesn't let street-level corruption grow unchecked. He scares it out of existence. And by doing so, he eliminates one of the core thematic contrasts of the original show, the moral grayness of necessary evil. With Batman present, that ambiguity becomes confrontation, not compromise. Speaking of D.A. Sinclair, the Reaniman arc in the original timeline is horrifying. A brilliant but ethically void scientist resurrecting dead bodies as weaponized zombies. In the show, D.A. Sinclair becomes a pawn of Cecil's darker rationalism, helping develop Earth's last line of defense against the Viltrumites. But in the Batman-influenced universe, that partnership never happens, because Batman finds D.A. Sinclair first. He doesn't just destroy the Reaniman, he exposes Sinclair, releasing damning footage, hacking into the GDA servers, and broadcasting a live feed of Sinclair's lab to the world. Cecil tries to sweep it under the rug, but the court of public opinion makes it impossible. Batman forces Earth to reckon with its own inhumanity before the Viltrumites even arrive. This isn't just damage control, it's a warning. If we become monsters monsters to survive monsters, we've already lost. That moral line.
Mm. Did you hear what you said there? We become monsters, defend monsters. Then we've already lost because we are now the monsters. So we can't get rid of the monsters. That's why we have to die. Can't lie. That was a bar. Unfortunately, that was a bar. It was a bar.
So blurred in the canon timeline is reinforced in steel by Batman's presence. Sinclair is imprisoned, the Reanimen are destroyed, and the GTA loses one of its most dangerous assets, but gains a moral compass it didn't know it needed. Now, let's go big. What happens when the Viltrumite Empire comes calling? In canon, the Viltrumites are unstoppable. A galactic empire of Omni-Men. Stronger, faster, more brutal. Entire civilizations fall before them. But Batman would casually sip tea and tell them to come, because Batman never plays one-on-one.
Pause.
He doesn't fight Viltrumites with fists, he fights them with strategy. He studies them.
With Vinted's electronics verification service.
Ah, leave me alone. Ah, double. I need premium, man. I need premium. Please help me. Help me get out of this. I need
Their
premium.
biology, and once he finds weaknesses, he builds countermeasures. He recruits the universe's smartest minds, Eve, Robot, Alan the Alien, and would lead the coalition. He doesn't try to beat the Viltrumites in strength, he beats them in logistics. So when the Viltrumites arrive, they don't find Earth kneeling. They find it booby-trapped and weaponized. It would be a planet defended by bulletproof plans. They would try to fight, but be defeated easily. And as a last-ditch effort, they would send Thrag, the ultimate Viltrumite. Stronger than Omni-Man, he is smarter and merciless. His arrival in the original story marks the shift into a full-blown war of species. If Batman is present, this war goes differently. In the show, Earth is badly underprepared, but Batman in charge would shift the balance. Planetary
True.
defense systems are online, a new
I still stand by the fact that he would have died before. But let's say in this ideal situation, this ideal world, Batman survives until now, then Fez. But I'm saying the first time Omni-Man shows up, even though they will be more prepared because Batman understands everything, I kind of Omni-Man still just straight, man.
global satellite array with Viltrumite killing energy weapons is active. Eve, Mark, Alan, and the other superheroes have spent months training in strike tactics. When Thrag arrives, he doesn't land. He's ambushed. And Batman wouldn't let the other Viltrumites go either. Batman launches a propaganda campaign targeting the loyalty of lower rank Viltrumites. He reveals Nolan's regrets, shows clips of the human resistance, and broadcasts Thrag's past war crimes. Even if only 5% of Viltrumites hesitate, that's a 5% edge. Batman would create zones that temporarily weaken Viltrumites, enough for strikes.
How are you gonna do that though? You know what I mean? This guy just adds stuff without expanding on it. What do you mean create zones that we could, there's nothing like that in the show. That don't exist. They don't have kryptonite, mate. It's not Superman. It's not the DC universe.
Thrag is still a monster. He is still god tier, but this time he bleeds first. With only 50 Viltrumites behind him, Thrag would realize that the war is
From what though? From because it's not Batman. It's not Batman.
lost. Batman doesn't win wars with heat vision. He wins by making war too costly to continue. And once the war is over, Batman would dismantle every occupied planet the Viltrumites have. He would help them rebuild and
No, he wouldn't. Let's be honest. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. That's like saying. That's like, okay. Let me just tell you what. Like, let me try to like, rationalize this into the DC universe. He's basically saying Darkseid comes to Earth. He gets like he's masterfully been waiting all these years for Darkseid to come. He's puppeteered all the situations to have like points on Earth where Darkseid is weakened and his army is weakened. And then after they've defeated Darkseid, he now goes to every planet that Darkseid has conquered and help the planets. Like that's just not happening. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. That's not happening. That's not happening.
give back their autonomy. His name would echo across the cosmic galaxy. As the years pass, Batman becomes something new in this universe. Not a superhero, but a myth. He doesn't age the same. His tech evolves. His AI doubles and his reach grows. And slowly, something terrifying happens. The Viltrumites don't see Earth as weak anymore. They see it as his. Because in every timeline, in every dimension, Batman earns the same reputation. Given prep time, he can beat anyone. And that becomes legend. A universe full of Supermen learns to fear the mortal man, the Bat of Earth. By the time the war ends, the Invincible universe is unrecognizable. Nolan lives, but under constant surveillance. Cecil still runs the GDA, but has to ask approval for
Nolan lives in the show as well. Wait, he does. He just leaves the planet. He doesn't die. Wait, he does. Wait, does he? Because I watched this show like a while ago now. Nolan doesn't die, right? What happens? What happens in the last episode? Angstrom. Before that, Nolan is in space, in prison, getting executed. Oh, no, because Batman came to save him. No, he doesn't die. What's the guy talking about?
major decisions from the Bat-trained task force. The teen team becomes a Justice League tier force under Batman's strategic guidance. Thrag is
W's.
defeated not through brute force, but through surgical, calculated planning. When all of it is over,
I don't think that would actually happen. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Thrag would have to be killed. In my opinion.
Batman would disappear, just like he always does, because that's what he is. He's not a god or a tyrant, he's just a man who shapes himself to be a legend. If Batman entered the Invincible universe, he wouldn't outpunch anyone. He wouldn't try to be Mark's dad or Earth's savior, he would simply watch. And in doing so, he'd become the only thing the Viltrumites truly fear. A man who already knows how to beat them before they even arrive. If you like this video, be sure to check out this video. Why Batman vs. Omni-Man isn't even close.
How to stop.
Nope. Hey. That was a good video. That was a good video. Well, I did another video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys like, subscribe, comment. Come back again tomorrow because I'm going to try upload on this channel every day. Can't make no promises. I'm going to try every day. Subscribe to my other channel, my live channel, where I upload my streams, my gaming streams, my other streams, my real life streams. And take care, stay blessed.